Hey, Shad here with Speed Addicts. In today's video, we're gonna uncrate the new Bell Bullitt GT. What's up, Speed Addicts fan? Before we get into the new edition of the Bell Bullitt, still very bullety, but now with a few new twists. Before we do that, subscribe to the Speed Addicts channel. That way you're getting all of our gear reviews, our new Versus series, and some exciting new shootouts coming your way. Subscribe, that way you don't miss out. Of course, you're gonna shop for gear online. Do it over at speedaddicts.com, your place to get Bell shipped fast, free with the industry's best return policy. There will be a link in the description below that'll get you right over to the new Bell Bullitt GT helmet at Speed Addicts. Do your gear shopping over there. We appreciate you. And finally, if you want to shop Bell in person, there's not a better place than the new Speed Addicts Superstore located in the city of Orange. Come and check out the world's most epic helmet wall and shop a full selection of Bell helmets from experts. You won't be sorry, and you might even get to say hi to me and producer Matt. Okay, SoCal, Speed Addicts Superstore. Here we are. Bell Bullitt GT. Okay, so this is going to replace the older Bell Bullitt, and they basically have updated it. They have not replaced it. Okay, so it looks largely the same because it is largely the same. This is the old Bullitt. We have the carbon fiber version with the Russian astronaut face shield on it. This is the new Bell Bullitt GT on my left, the gloss black one. This one is the updated version. So the language is the same. You have a vintage looking helmet, but a modern design, fit, and finish on it. And the new price tag, $479 to $499. This is a composite shell. The new Bell Bullitt GT will also come in some carbon fiber and special editions that are going to run $669 to $729. Now, most of the carbon fiber ones do throw in a fancier bag or a dark smoke shield. See the Speed Addicts description for all the details on those. But the base fiberglass Bell Bullitt GT will just come with a flat, clear face shield. So, very much the same. You notice they did delete the chin bar vent. That didn't really do much anyways, and the switch on it was always rattling around and kind of shaky. So they did delete that, so you won't see any more chin bar vent. But the big updates here, not to bury the lead, is that this Bell Bullitt GT is now ECE 2206, okay, whereas the older Bell Bullitt was only 2205, and DOT 2206 is the new safety standard out of Europe that a lot of helmets are dual labeling here and advertising that they pass that even here in the United States. Okay, so the Bell Bullitt GT will pass ECE 2206, which is great, as well as DOT. The other big update here is that there are now 3 shell sizes. The old Bell Bullitt had 1 shell size, so this was an ill-fitting helmet if you had a bigger head most of the time. If you had a smaller head, you're normally like a smaller medium, you'd be okay. People with like, especially extra large, like I could not get my fat head into a Bell Bullitt to save my life. I'd be like right up on this skinny little chin bar. It was just a bad scene. So now the new Bell Bullitt GT has 3 shell sizes instead of 1. Much better fitment across the range. Huge improvement there. There's some other quirks and features that have changed, but really it's pretty much the same thing. So if you're looking for a vintage helmet that passes the latest safety standards, it's high build quality, 5-year warranty from the folks over at Bell. Bell Bullitt GT is the one to get. Now let's talk about the weight. This helmet weighs 3 pounds and about 3 ounces, depending on what size you're getting. It is pretty lightweight. The chin bar is probably one of those reasons why it's light. It's pretty skinny chin bar. Big eye port gives it that vintage aesthetic. Of course, this chin bar is not going to provide quite as much coverage or protection. It doesn't inspire as much confidence as like a modern full-face helmet, right? But those are the trade-offs you're going to make because you're going to look cool in a Bell Bullitt GT. Size range extra small through 2X, and now you can expect those sizes to actually be true. So see the sizing chart for the Bell Bullitt GT on the Speed Addicts site, okay? And if you see feedback about the old Bell Bullitt not fitting right or fitting too small, you can kind of throw that out the window. They've resolved those fitment issues. They've also resolved another issue, which was their base plate, pivot kit, whatever you want to call it, face shield mechanism. The old one had a screw. And screws, when they're used on helmets, tend to rattle themselves out of place. I'm not saying that the Bell Bullitt necessarily had a huge problem with that, but we did see it from time to time. We also see it on other brands. The minute the factory doesn't put enough thread lock on a screw like that and you're sitting on a motorcycle vibrating, they tend to just back themselves right out. So that could be a problem. So they've done away with that, and they have a new mechanism that's also toolless, right? So you don't have to have a screwdriver on hand to change it. That is a cool feature, okay? So we're gonna show you how to do that in a minute, but first, reminder on the sizing. It's gonna run true. If you buy it at Speed Addicts, you've got no cost returns on all of our helmets, so you're covered there with a great return policy. Shop online for helmets, do it at Speed Addicts, of course. Okay, so let's get back to this face shield mechanism. You're gonna open the face shield completely. Then we're gonna press, there's a little button in the middle. You're gonna press that, and there's a sticker on here to explain how to do it, but you're gonna press on that, and then you're gonna slide that back, and then you are clear to take it off and change your face shield, and it goes back on in the same manner. Let's see if I can pull that off on the spot here. You're gonna put it down and slide it back, and now you're ready to go. Okay, so toolless, relatively quick. Once you've done it a few times, an improvement over the old Bell Bullitt GT for sure. We also have another update, which is the gasket. So the old Bell Bullitt was a bit leaky because it just had this chrome bead around the eye port. It didn't actually have a rubber gasket. They have resolved that, so now we have a modern motorcycle gasket that's gonna seal and not leak a bunch of air, make your eyes water. You're gonna have more fun riding when your helmet seals well, but still have the aesthetic that you're going over. So because of that, it's also quieter, all right? The new gasket helped out a lot with the noise. This array of vents on the top can now be closed as well. So they put a slider down here that actuates those top vents, which is kind of clever. So they don't have to have covers or switches on them out here, which would kill the vintage vibe. They're gonna hide that down here. Cool situation. We're gonna flip the helmet back. You do have an exhaust port in the back. It is, you know, not a huge one. Again, they don't want to mess with the aesthetic and put big exhaust vents all over their Bell Bullitt GT. They still want it to look nice. And the face shield, you do have a full complement of face shields available. If you want the Russian astronaut bubble, they've got it. They got smoke, iridium, all sorts of different face shields, but out of the box on the base Bullitt GT, you're gonna get a clear shield. Let's flip it over and check out the interior. We still have kind of this chocolate brown interior. Take a look there. Now the old one had perforations and more of like a terry cloth feel to it. It's a little rougher. This one is probably a bit more refined. Still's got the old school vibe to it and a nice color. But if you didn't know better, you'd say it looks pretty much the same. Okay, D-ring closure. Now we do have a comm system pockets behind the cheek pads here, so we'll go ahead and remove this. If you're wondering if you can run a comm system with your Bell Bullitt GT, you absolutely can. Now I forget if the old one had pockets. I don't believe it did. Let's see. I could be wrong though. The old Bell Bullitt did have speaker pockets, so that is not a change. That is retained here. So we got speaker pockets, and they are quite large, so you can fit your bigger JBL speakers from the folks over at Cardo if you want to run with a Pack Talk Pro or a Pack Talk Edge. And we'll go ahead and remove the whole comfort liner so that you can see what's going on here. So it is an antimicrobial liner. Hopefully that keeps it from getting funky on you, but you can always remove it and wash it. I recommend doing so by hand in the sink and letting it air dry so you don't tear it up. And then once you use it up, you can buy a new one over time if you really work your liner over. So that port in the back matches up with the exhaust port. You're gonna get a Venturi exhaust, suck the hot air through these ports, through the vents. Keep cool. A lot of vintage helmets actually don't have any ventilation at all, so even though these are modest, they do quite well, especially compared to some of those competitors like I'm talking about there. 5-year warranty from the folks over at Bell. Multi-density EPS liner passing ECE 2206. Now with 3 shell sizes, improved fit, same great look. So there's not a ton of competition for a higher end vintage helmet out there, you know, these days. Now that they improved the fit and it's passing ECE 2206, Bell is coming in very strong with the Bullitt GT. Available now at speedaddicts.com, or come on down to the Speed Addicts Superstore and check out a Bell Bullitt GT in person. That's it for today. We'll see you next time to find out what's in the crate.